we're doing is we're taking the factory edge up here and we're sticking it above our curve. We're sticking a level on top of it. So Kitana's tracing the back side of it. Which gives us our radius. You can see this is a straight part right here. All right, now there is our arch. Just like that. So I'm taking the end here and I'm just drawing a line. I'm creating this corner right here, which is where this top of this window and the side of this window meet. This way I can get the measurement of what I need. So we need to go from 0 to whatever that measurement is. All right, we cut this to 34.5 inches, which is the exact width of our opening. We came down a 1/2 inch, drew a line across the top. That is going to be our new top. Now when we cut this, that's going to want to break because it's going to be very flimsy, so we have to be very careful. We probably shouldn't be cutting it on this, we should be cutting it on a flat surface, but we're going to line this up with the outside edge of this and the top of that line. Got it? And we draw our line. And that's our arch for that side. And we're going to turn it over and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to line this up at the outside edge and the top of that line. Got it?
Good.
And take that off of there. Now we have the exact arch that we need. And we need to cut that out. I'm going to cut it out on the floor so it's a nice flat spot and there's no chance of this breaking off. All right, before this gets broken, we're gonna install this piece. So that's phase one, but there's a lip, so we have to double it up. So you cut little blocks and they're gonna go flush with this side. We're gonna be cutting on this line with the multi-tool. So I'm gonna line that up with this side and that line. And then we're gonna put a couple screws in it to hold it there. And this is what our drywall is gonna be braced against when we bend it into an arch. then we'll just sand that nice and round, and they'll be pretty darn even. So I'm taking this piece of drywall and I'm going to put about every ½ inch, I'm going to put a slit in the back of it. And then I'm going to make a mark. Oh, I don't have to make a mark. I got screws. Everywhere there's a screw, I know there's a block. And I'm going to stick this up in here like this. And let this follow the curvature of the ceiling. Like so. Hold that right there. And hold this side too. There you go. Okay. Hold this. So this is just going to go in here to take up the space and allow us to tape that corner. There's not going to be a wood trim on the inside of this.
Wow, those are some lovely walls.
Double 3/8 matches up pretty close with the old plaster. So there's lots of different ways you can get wallpaper off the wall. 5-in-1 tool from the painting department. One of these Langoliers. Or wallpaper removal tools has these little wheels on it with sharp teeth, and you just rub it on and it puts little tiny grooves, little tiny pinholes into the wallpaper. And then you take any kind of fabric softener that you use for laundry and just wipe it on and let it sit for a little bit. If you can pull off the paper part first, like this, you'll do better to put the fabric softener onto the paper that stays behind the decorative part. But you can put the fabric softener right over this. A lot of people will use vinegar too. It just makes the whole house stink. And then after it's been sitting for a bit, your 5-in-1 tool will scrape most of it off pretty easily. It does take a little bit of elbow grease still, but it'll help take that paper off that has the glue on it. This is just really cheap. LA's totally awesome. That's what it says on it. LA's totally awesome. I don't think LA's awesome. This is Durabond 90. It's a fast-setting joint compound, but it hardens like concrete. You can't sand it. Even with a handheld sander, it's not going to sand. It'd be like sanding your sidewalk. I use this for large gaps, or when you put two pieces of drywall together, the seam, I pre-fill all seams with this. So you want to get it into all those seams. This will still have to be taped, but this will prevent the tape from being sucked into the wall. Anything else I want, please? Corner bead 61 adhesive. This stuff right here is the best way to put your corner bead on. And what you do is you shake it up and you spray it on the edge. Let it sit. You're also going to spray your corner bead.
"11 minutes later."
See how that works, Kitana? You spray it on both, and then you push this into place. And make sure it's nice and flat everywhere and all the way in, and it will harden it right to the opening. No screws necessary. I had to go wash my hands because I can't even pick up a screwdriver because if I do, I can't let go of it. It's not a joke. What a mess. What a mess. So this is like 1/2 inch plaster here over drywall. I cut this piece to fit in here. I just need to kind of trace off where I need this cut out. Try to fit it in there. I don't know if this is going to look good or not. Right. Oh, that's right. No structure. No structure. Oh, nothing to hold it. Yeah. If I hold a little bit, throw it on, I can make it a little better. Use the door on 90 for this because it's hard to cement. I'm trying to make some progress. So the package is the door on 90. I should be over the whole purpose. I'm later today. I'm trying to fit that in the old. I'm going to go over the whole purpose later. You put the whole thing, and then we should be able to get that totally disappear. That was pretty darn good for what it was. I'm just trying to break off. So you can break the water away and make it spread a little bit easier. Smooth out. The base cabinets and countertop will come to here. The upper cabinets will end about here, maybe higher. I'm not really sure which cabinets they're getting. So I'm going to coat the wall, but I'm only going to coat from the underside of the wood to about here, because that's where the backsplash is going to go. So we're just going to take and put the compound on the wall and then feather it in. This is just regular all-purpose joint compound that you would use if you were drywalling. And I put it on a little thick because I want to be able to sand it to a nice smooth finish with one coat if I can. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. That really depends on the surface. This back here is not the greatest shape, but it's smooth enough. It's not like this wall over here that has all those gaping holes in it. Okay, so got this seam taped here. This crack in the corner here got really wide down here, so we put some spray foam insulation in there. We'll cut it out with a razor knife, and I'll tape that seam tomorrow. Kitana took down all of that purple board that was all around the kitchen, so we're fixing the part of the wall that's going to be visible once the cabinets are in, upper and lowers. This is the part that's going to be visible. So we put a skim coat on here today. That's going to dry. I'll do a light sand tomorrow, and then I'll skim coat it again and put a whole new layer on there. Before we leave today, I am going to put some Durabond in these areas here. These were very big holes that we put the spray foam insulation into here for gaps and cracks. And then we Durabond right over that. As you can see, I did the same over here. This wall's starting to come around. That was spray foam insulation and then Durabond over it, and now this is a skim coat of all-purpose. And I know it doesn't look pretty. That's not important. What's important is that this is on here and hardens so that it can be sanded, another coat put on it, and we'll build up on it. As you can see, the archway is all mudded, and it's only the first coat that has to dry. When that dries, then I'll put another coat on and a light sand, and it'll be ready to go. This corner bead, just like this, glued on all around it on both sides. And this side here needs to be taped as well. But I'm out of mud, so I can't do this wall today. It's gonna have to be done tomorrow. Kitana's been working on taking down all the wallpaper, and as you can see, she's way over there in that corner now. She got it all off using a Langolier tool. That's what I like to call it, from Stephen King's movie The Langoliers. And fabric softener. And it's all off this wall except for the top up there where she still hasn't gotten, but she'll get that tomorrow. And then I skim coated some other walls too. You can't do the walls adjacent to the one you're doing, because if you try to do here and there, you'll mess the corner up. So I did here and I did here. I will sand that tomorrow and either do this area or put another coat on that. And when these two are done and dry, then I'll skim coat that side there. I also taped this corner here and did this wall and this wall. And normally I don't do two walls that are side by side, but I did. So this was the big thing. This isn't done yet. This is only the first coat. There's Durabond under it and then this first coat of all-purpose. But I cut a piece of drywall to fit in there. I used Durabond to fill in the gap because the drywall ends right here. You can see the black line. And then there's Durabond and then there's all-purpose over the top of it. And then tomorrow, if that's dry, I'll do a light sand over all of this and I'll skim coat the whole thing right to the tape line here. From this corner here all the way out. And that soffit should be taken care of at that point. It should not look like it's broken anymore. That should be all she needs. And I taped anywhere where I saw cracks in the plaster. There's a crack here. I just noticed there's another one running across the top up here. That'll have to be taped. If it's not, it'll show up and probably get worse. So it doesn't look like maybe a whole lot of work was done here today, but we were at it all day long. It is now 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The homeowner is going to be here at 3. So thanks for watching.